Are we ready? Which way we need to look?
All right, guys. Well, General Tire wanted us to build a replica street car of your 1980 championship car. Actually was, because...
They won the race championship in 80, won in 79.
Sorry, I screwed that one up. So, let's go back.
What's the year among friends?
So General Tire wanted us to build a street car version of your 79 championship winning car. A lot of confusion about what that car actually was because you raced in 1979 a 1977 Monte Carlo. The actual car was a 77 because 78 GM went to a small bodied car.
Caprice or something.
Yeah, so they changed the body stuff. So this big car was a 77. Well, we couldn't find a 77, so we bought a 76.
Okay.
So they've tore us up on the internet over what this car actually was, but it's pretty doggone close.
So you modified it as much as you could to meet the race car, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
And was lucky we had one here in the museum that
you could go by.
Yeah. And I would go over there, I'd take pictures of it with my cell phone, and me and Jerry and Mitch, we'd all go over there and we'd look at it and come back and try to make it as close as we could.
And still make it being able to get on the road and drive it up and down the highway.
Yeah, the headlights, taillights, turn signals work on it. Even the windshield wipers work.
Air conditioning?
Air conditioning works. so you didn't have that in 1979, did you?
You put your hand out the window to get the air conditioning. Looks like y'all done a pretty good job. You got the roll bars, you got everything that, as close as you could and still make it being able to get up and down the road. The doors open on this one, they don't open on that. You have to crawl in the window, right?
How much time did y'all have on this?
We picked the car up, I think the last week of September. So we're standing here February 14th.
That's pretty good.
So we picked it up. It was running, driving street car, small block, automatic transmission. So we took and converted it and put a LS3 with a 6-speed manual in it.
You had to strip everything out and start again, right?
Yeah, and we kind of got raked over the coals a little bit because throughout they're like, man, y'all took a nice car and messed and just tore it all to pieces. Well, photos don't show all the rust that came out of this car.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you've seen the cars we built here in the past. And,
pretty rough.
This thing's sitting on the stock chassis.
Okay.
When we rolled this in here this morning, I looked under it, it's a rear steer. Is it a banjo car?
Yeah, it probably would be, yeah.
Rear steer, yes, it would be.
So when I crawled under it, I was showing Chris Sullivan, I said, somebody had commented about this thing being a front steer car when they saw the chassis. Well, I said, well, this is a stock chassis. I said, they would have had I said, more than likely, I wasn't sure back then when the banjo chassis came into play.
We'll keep the hood closed and they won't be able to see it.
If y'all can answer it, I know Richie would answer it, but y'all might remember it too. I looked at a lot of pictures, and some pictures the cars had radius front wheel openings, and some of them they were flat.
I don't even know. You know what I mean? Probably according to how bad the fender was tore up before we done it.
Well, this car was just, for some reason, it was a good driving, good handling car on the short tracks car. And all that.
Even though it looks real boxy and stuff, aerodynamic, it was a pretty decent car. Because we tried to do a Caprice, which was a smaller car and stuff, it was terrible. So we had to go back to these.
How many cars did y'all build, like, say in 79? How many cars do you have in the fleet?
Probably had that one and a Oldsmobile for the speedways.
We had 2 cars, Oldsmobile for the super speedways and the Chevrolet for the rest of the race.
So if you wrecked this thing at Rockingham before you went to Atlanta,
you fixed it.
Y'all fixed it. Yeah, it's not like now where that goes in the corner.
You should decide to get another one. It's a little bit different, but circumstances dictate that now. And then the new cars and stuff are going to take so much more time to put together and take apart. Where you started with a stock car here, so you disassembled stuff and then just put back just the things you needed to make a race car out of it.
Everything we done was trial and error, and we finally
CD britches. Yeah. I mean, I'd go out and run, and then I'd have to come in and tell Dale what the car was doing or how it felt to me, and then we'd sit down and say, okay, if we change this, it'll change that, change this over here. They go to the computer now, they don't even talk to the driver because they watch the car and they know exactly when the guy's on the brake, on the gas, you know, all that. So it's went way past these cars. These are dinosaurs now, basically, compared to what the new stuff is. Yeah. If we hadn't had these cars and done what we've done with these, then we wouldn't be where we're at today.
Right. It's just part of the progression.
This is the whole deal. The first race I ever run was strictly stock, and they broke wheels. So the next race they said, okay, you can build up the wheel. Then they broke something else, and they just, the process of elimination of stuff you broke, and then we wound up with a stock-bodied car that was a race car, because all the parts were pretty good. And so then it goes to the next generation, which is everything is different. There's a bunch of stock stuff on this car. You know what I mean? Stock pieces and stuff. There's nothing on the race cars now that's about stock. No, but you got a new engine, you got the whole situation.
Yeah, and it's fuel injected.
Fuel injecting the whole deal.
But
where that was still had just one carburetor.
Yeah. What we did with this one, we put fuel injection on it, but we put a carburetor style intake, and actually the fuel injection unit looks like a Holley carburetor.
Yeah.
So we made it look kind of old school as far as that goes.
Still looks like a carburetor. Yeah. It don't show to be injection. All right, we're through.